When they first started putting checkering on firearms a couple hundred years ago or more, for one thing, it wasn't, the slant wasn't like that. It was more square. The diamonds weren't diamonds, they were boxes, square boxes. But they would leave them flat on top. And so if you reproduce real old guns, you got to leave the diamonds flat, and that's about all you do to it right there. It's just they're just barely scratched in there, and it doesn't give you near the grip. This right here is not near as positive a grip as this is. But that's all you do to them is just barely scratch it in. For flat top diamonds, flat top checkering actually. Alright, I'm going to put some permalin in here with a brush, just in the checkering. Usually I put black linseed oil, blackened linseed oil in the checking. Linseed oil, clear linseed oil is also a really good preservative, but blackened is real pretty. The effect of the black against the finished wood, and also the black furniture on a gun, the butt pad and the trigger guard and all that stuff. It just looks really good. That's a little trick I picked up from Turnbull. If you've ever seen any of Turnbull's work, their checkering is always black. Remington picked up on it a few years ago. I think Turnbull started it, but Remington picked up on it a few years ago and made a few guns from their factory that had black checking in them, and it was a wood stock. Anyway, that's what I usually do, but black hides the grain. The blacking in there hides the grain. Almost impossible to see any grain. You can barely detect a little bit of it, but it's not much. And this grain is, in this gun stock, the grain in the checking area is so pretty that I'm really hesitant to cover it up. So what I'm doing is putting this stuff in and then using a piece of toilet paper to blot out the excess, and then just letting the rest of it sit there and dry. Now, to get that little bit of finish that may be out on the stock itself, I got a rag with a little bit of paint thinner on it, just damp, wiping that off. When I get done with this process, I will be I'll be buffing this down. This is not going to stay this much of a gloss, so I'll be buffing it down. Anything I miss, I'll catch when I buff it. Good clean checkering will show the grain through it. Back years ago when I used to finish my stalks with wax, I would always just wax my checking and then brush it out with a toothbrush, cut real short. And good clean checking, you can see the grain right through it. I know this is shiny finish, but with one coat in a surface as rough as checking, it's not shiny. Alrighty, let that dry, and then I'm going to assemble it.